welcome to the Mauser Mike channel. The reason I got into my hobby is because I like history and I like guns, and something I've wanted to acquire for a while. I finally traded for here recently. An Israeli Mauser. This thing really isn't worth much more than your run-of-the-mill Russian capture K98 Mauser, but it's for the fact that it's seen a lot of history. So let's get a little closer look to this and look at some of the markings. Alright, I tamed this from a place called Bull Moose Guns. If you're kind of sick of looking at some of the bigger places like Classic AM or J&G Sales, there's a lot of good smaller places out there to find milsurps like Bull Moose Guns or the place I mentioned in my last video, Panzerfaust Armory. I'll put links to Panzerfaust and Bull Moose Guns in the description below. But the reason I like this rifle quite a bit, just the history that it's seen. It's originally started out, if you can tell by the receiver, that didn't start out life as a K98K. That, if I can get it to focus, it started out as a Gewehr 98 in World War I. I don't know, it was made in Berlin in 1918, and it was converted later on to a K98K before World War II, whereas after World War II, I have a feeling that this was smuggled into, this wasn't one of the buys after Israel became a state. I think this was one of these that were smuggled into Israel by the Haganah before they became the Israeli Defense Force, because that's where a lot of the German K98Ks actually entered Israel, was prior to them becoming a state, whereas after they became a state it was a lot of Czech, and then like a lot of Mexican and other Mausers showed up there. But you know, like I said, this started out life as a Gewehr 98 and converted to a K98K. And one of the really cool things about this rifle was that even though they got rid of a lot of the Waffenamts off the receiver, there's actually still some I don't know if that'll focus or not, but you can see there right below the front of the sight, there are two Waffenamts still on the barrel. And on the other side, you have Israeli, you see the Star of David right there, and you see other Israeli markings on the receiver. So I think that's pretty cool about this rifle. You know, it has both the Waffenamts and Israeli markings on it. Eventually, by the late 50s, after you know, they've acquired a bunch of Mausers, they decided that they were going to go with the FAL as their official rifle. But so they decided to go ahead and convert, and I'm sure you can see the big 7.62 at the very top here. They converted it to 7.62 by 51, so you know, they could have the same ammo as the FALs. And if the rifles didn't have K98 stocks already, Israel gave them K98 stocks. But the reason I believe that this is actually a German K98 stock was that they burned the 7.62 in the original German stocks to differentiate them from the 8mm Mauser, the 7.97. So just wanted to give a quick review, and I'll have a little bit of shooting footage here at the end of this video. But I want to give just a quick showing of this rifle, because I think it's pretty cool. You know, it experienced World War I, World War II, and probably the Israeli Independence War, the 6-Day War, and probably the Yom Kippur War, because you know, a lot of these Mausers seen action even after Israel used the FAL and made their own rifles. These Mausers still seen action in rear echelons before they were finally sold off as surplus in the 70s. So if you like what you see, give me a like, subscribe, comment, check out the Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon links below. And as always, have a great day.
Alright, and I forgot stripper clips today, so I'll have to load these one at a time.